accountancy. So if anybody knows any network, if you want an accountant, it's really gifted person. And who else is new today? Oh, thank you. Who else is new today? Anybody else new today? Well, we have one new person today called Maria. Maria, come up here, my dear. You are going to... Mariana, or is it Mariana or Maria? Maryna. Maryna, in a moment, is going to give us a quick talk about her experience of getting a job here in the UK. All the way from which part of Ukraine?
Кропивницький. Кіровоград раніше називався.
Well, we really welcome you here today. Thank you so much for coming. Just take a seat for a second. And before we do that, we have lovely Anna, who is going to tell us about two events that are now in the programme. We talked about this last week. On the 13th of March and the 20th of March, we are going to do a special celebration here of Ukraine culture, music, art, food, singing, dancing, anything, to change this, you know, this word, this language about people coming, you know, needing something. You don't need, we need you. And this is a chance to celebrate all of your culture and all of your wonderful history. Anna, do you want to say a little bit about what you've been doing so far?
Yeah.
You can do it in Ukrainian.
Дякую. От, наскільки я розумію, Telegraph Hill, я подивилася на сайті, це фестиваль, який має своїх вже, як поціновувачів, має свою публіку. І більшість з того, що там відбувається на веб-сайті, це дні відкритих дверей до студії художників. От. Ми не могли змінити текст, ми не змогли змінити назву, як от конкретно ця подія буде заявлена, на жаль. Тобто ми про це проговорили, і там наразі свято біженців. От, але Стів нам допомагає в цій події надати свій простір. І так як у нас вже такий дуже великий пул художників і митців, ми цього разу будемо робити український івент. Тобто нас не змішають цього разу з біженцями, тобто це не буде, як там заявлено, сирійці, афганці, українці. Ні, це буде український івент. І така була моя пропозиція, чому я зараз цим займаюся, це зробити акцент на художниках. Ми всі ходимо на ці заходи, ми всі знаємо, наскільки багато, там, ми ходимо на Career Development Day, ми ходимо там на зустрічі по працевлаштуванню, але насправді дуже мало інформації для художників. І дуже мало нетворкінгу для художників. Тобто нас зустрічають з бухгалтерами, нас зустрічають з юристами, там, наскільки це можливо, але практично до нас не доходять куратори, у нас немає цього обміну. А як ми ще можемо показати нашу культуру? От. І ми наразі робимо все, щоб тут прийняла участь якомога різноманітна кількість художників, які працюють і які потребують саме британських і лондонських контактів. І я попросила Стівена, і я роблю це теж вже самостійно, вже цілий тиждень зустрічаюсь з людьми і запрошуючи їх на цю подію дуже таргетно. Тобто, щоб людина якимось чином була зацікавлена в нашому мистецтві і могла дати нам ідеї чи поради, зробити якісний нетворкінг. От. Я дуже потребую вашої допомоги в цьому, тому що подія, мені хочеться, щоб вона відрізнялася, мені хочеться, щоб вона була наша, мені хочеться, щоб це не було чергове декорування стін і прогулянка на випивку. Мені хочеться, щоб вона була наша по настрою, мені хочеться, щоб кожен гість, він був помічений, і він відчував, що ми тримаємо ось цей простір. Що ми знаємо, що ми робимо, ми знаємо цих людей, що ми вітаємо, ми танцюємо, показати тих нас, ту творчість, яку ми собі несемо. Так, мабуть, найбільша задача – це от показати, грубо кажучи, 10 художників і подумати разом, як це робити. Зробити поезію до кожного.
Now, I've done a crash course in Ukrainian since I saw you last. And I can tell what she was saying is, I need your help. You can all contribute. We can make this a wonderful event. It's going to be so special. Am I right? Yes. Anna, this is such a joy for me because this is not about us doing things for you. It's just creating this space and you doing things with pride and power. Yeah? Give me a high five. We're going to support Anna. Yes? Who's going to help her? Do I see those hands? Good. Well, well done, Anna. If you want to be involved, you had some lovely ideas for some food, and you're an artist as well. So make those links. So thank you so much. Can we show our appreciation to Anna? Anna, thank you, love. Appreciate that. Now, the other bit of news to say is I have to go soon. My father died 3 weeks ago, and tomorrow is the funeral. And I need to sleep. Tomorrow is a big day. We have a lot of people coming. I have to help my grandmother. My mother is 96. And you know, these things take a lot of time, so I'm feeling a little bit. But I'm going to go at 7 o'clock, but I'm leaving you in the wonderful hands of Helena. Let's show our love to Helena. And Helena has got this wonderful idea. You've heard of TED Talks, haven't you? Yes. TED Talks. We're going to have Facework Talks. And every evening we're having one person from the wider diaspora. That's a big word, isn't it? The diaspora. Everybody who's come around Europe, who's doing so well, as stories of hope and inspiration. So Helena, would you like to introduce Maryna? And I'm then going to love you and leave you. Is that okay? Yeah. If you leave my computer here, thank you. If you leave my computer here, I will then take it when I come back later because I have to get some mugs about 9 o'clock. So I'll see you at the end, okay?
Thank you, Steven. Всі ми пам'ятаємо про LinkedIn і про цю неймовірну силу коннекшенів і нетворкінгу з допомогою LinkedIn. Так, одного разу я познайомилась заочно, і сьогодні, насправді, перший раз, коли ми побачились in-person особисто, я Марину знала тільки завдяки LinkedIn, через нашу спільну знайому, і я слідкувала за її розвитком кар'єрним, бо я почала слідкувати, коли ви закінчували Goldsmith, здається, так? Я з тих пір слідкую, ви отримали роботу, і був якийсь процес пошуку роботи, інтерв'ю, і є власні якісь наробки, усвідомлення, як і що треба робити, щоб швидше отримати роботу, і чого не варто робити. І саме це знання для нас дуже корисне. Якщо ви зможете поділитись, ласкаво прошу.
Привіт. Мікрофон.
Це десь в кишені. Зараз у нас технічні моменти.
Все, дякую. Дякую. Так, да. Мене звати Марина. Я працюю зараз. Спочатку розповім за свій досвід, потім за процес інтерв'ю, як підготуватися, які я знаю навчання або сайти, які можуть допомогти, і на останок дам кілька порад. Я українська. Ти згодна? Я закінчила бакалавр з маркетингу, тут університет неподалік. Goldsmith називається, і шукала роботу 7 місяців. Тобто я почала в листопаді і отримала тільки в травні. І це десь було приблизно 100 заявок, у мене не було ніякого досвіду, я тільки закінчила, тому було непросто. Але потім я отримала практику, і отримала досвід, і це було основним, що мені допомогло. І зараз я працюю software marketing coordinator в технічній компанії, яка називається Zebra Technologies. І із труднощів в мене було багато відмов, дуже-дуже багато. Я просто була в шоці. Я вже не могла навіть подумати, що колись взагалі це буде можливо знайти тут роботу з такою кількістю. І були переживання, і мовний бар'єр. Я думала, як я можу, якщо я не native speaker, взагалі себе комфортно почувати і сказати те, що я хочу сказати на інтерв'ю. Тому це було дуже довго. Але все отрималось в кінці. І процес взагалі інтерв'ю, я думаю, що якщо ви вже подаєтесь, то ви вже знаєте. Але часто зараз вони починають з цифрової платформи, яка називається HireView. Тобто ви заходите на цю платформу по лінку, у вас є конкретне питання, потім включаєте там 2 хвилини, ви дивитесь, читаєте це питання, потім включається відео, вас знімають, і ви маєте сказати відповісти на питання. Там десь, не знаю, 5-6 питань, і вони оцінюють базову вашу кваліфікацію, комунікативні навички, такий тип з опису вакансії. Вам треба визначити, які keywords є, які основні требування російською. І вам треба обов'язково включити ці слова в вашу розмову, тому що у них кандидатів дуже багато, і так як мені потім розповідали мої колеги, як це відбувається, у них є програма, вона їм підтягує 10 кандидатів, які підходять. Тобто програма сама сканує і відскановує ці основні слова, фільтрує. Потім вони беруть з цього 5 людей і беруть на інтерв'ю, і потім 3 на фінальне інтерв'ю. Тобто до цієї стадії вони так фільтрують. Друга стадія відеоінтерв'ю через Zoom, Skype або Microsoft Teams. Вони оцінюють навички професіоналізму та культуру відповідність компанії. Тобто вони тестують, чи ви можете зробити цю роботу і чи ви вклинитесь в колектив. Третя стадія, вони дають тестове завдання часто, щоб оцінити ваші практичні навички і чи або побачить, як ви відноситесь і підходите до роботи, до завдання. І останній – це фінальне інтерв'ю. В загальному частіше воно проходить в офісі. І вони вас запрошують, щоб з вами познайомитися особисто, підтвердити, що ви маєте всі навички, кваліфікації, познайомитися з вами ближче і саме основне, вам задавати багато питань про компанію, адже вибирають не тільки вас, а й ви. Тому задавайте всі питання, які вас турбують. Як підготуватися? Перше, треба провести ретельний ресерч компанії, чим вони займаються, останні новини, що відбувається, і цінності компанії. І взагалі намагатися під час інтерв'ю це все піднімати, щоб показати, що ви знаєте, що відбувається, як ви можете це зв'язати з вашою позицією. Друге, зрозуміти роль вакансії і що вам треба буде робити. 70/30 – це означає, що 70% перелічених skills, які вони дають, потрібно мати, а 30% ви можете сказати, що я на цій вакансії, на цій позиції буду намагатися досягти таких навичок, і це нормально. І намагатися підібрати приклади з вашого досвіду під конкретні їхні вимоги. Наприклад, ви бачите там problem solving, і у вас бажано, щоб у вас був якийсь приклад, коли ви там вирішили конкретно цю проблему. Покажіть свої досягнення та навички. Я в своїх інтерв'ю завжди використовувала цю STAR, фреймворк. Можливо, ви знаєте. Тобто, коли вас питають, як ви зробили то-то, то-то, або розкажіть мені про те-то, 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 і ви таку структуру будуєте спочатку, яка була ситуація. Тобто, наприклад, от у нас була ситуація в університеті, ми вирішили зробити маркетингову як асоціацію і набрати людей туди і давати теж такі запрошувати людей з індустрії, розповідати студентам, як знайти роботу, ділитися їхнім опитом з маркетингу. Тобто це була ситуація, задача була зробити лонч цього маркетингового спільноти такої, з екшенів. Це те, що треба було зробити, це зробити. Чого воно таке синє? Це треба було зробити там інстаграм-сторінку, зробити типа кампейн, запросити спікера, щоб івент створити, щоб зацікавити студентів приєднуватися до нашої спільноти. І результат був, що після отаких дій ми отримали там 40 людей, які приєдналися до нас. І в такому форматі ви маєте проговорювати, тримати цю структуру в голові в себе, і коли вони задають вам питання, ви чітко проходитесь по цим питанням конкретно. Далі. Підготуйте запитання. Питання, які покажуть, що ви зробили ресерч і ви знаєте, що відбувається в компанії. Я часто використовувала ChatGPT для цього всього. Я просто копі-пейст якусь інформацію цікаву про компанію, яку треба було знайти, і потім казала, типа, generate questions for my interview. І воно дуже-дуже добре це все вам формулює. Дуже конкретно. 5-й крок – нагадайте про себе. Після інтерв'ю я завжди намагаюся написати або їм на LinkedIn, або їм на пошту, якщо в мене є пошта. Часто вони не дають свою пошту, тому я пишу на LinkedIn, можна написати безкоштовно це повідомлення, що дякую за інтерв'ю, була рада познайомитися, або якісь моменти намагаюсь згадати з інтерв'ю, які ми говорили, про які ми говорили, і сказати, що я чекаю на їхню відповідь. Тобто таким способом ви про себе нагадаєте, і посеред інших кандидатів вас запам'ятають як того, кому дійсно потрібна ця робота. І останнє, взагалі дуже-дуже важливо тренуватися, і чим більше ви робите інтерв'ю, чим легше вам буде, тільки проходячи весь цей крок, всі ці кроки і всі ці інтерв'ю, ви зможете отримати ці навички і стати впевненішою. І коли я вже пройшла декілька інтерв'ю, в мене вже були в голові якісь такі шаблони на їхні питання. Тобто це все приходить з практикою, і не треба цього боятися, це абсолютно нормальний процес. З навчань це в загальному такі більш для маркетингу, тому що я в цій індустрії варюся і тому знаю більше з цього приводу. HubSpot Academy, там є дуже багато крутих курсів з діджитал-маркетингу, з Excel, Canva Design Studio, це з дизайном зв'язано, Google Analytics Academy, в них теж є багато курсів по Data, по Research, LinkedIn Learning, ви можете за 1 місяць підключити собі безкоштовно, як trial, спробувати і пройти, отримати сертифікати. Degreed, ще дуже класно, багато компаній зараз, мабуть, всі пишуть блоги або мають подкасти, це теж дуже хороший ресурс інформації. Standout Assessment, це мені підказала моя колега, коли вас питають на інтерв'ю про ваші сильні і слабкі сторони. Це такий сайт, який, там 20 хвилин ви проходите тест, це безкоштовно, і воно аналізує вас по якимось ситуаціям, які у вас сильні сторони, якісь слабі сторони. І коли вас питають на інтерв'ю, які сильні, слабі, ви можете сказати, от я пройшла там цей тест, і вона показала то-то, або я проходила такі ситуації, і в мене такі сильні і слабі сторони. Це таке, щоб конкретніше трошки говорити про свої сильні і слабкі сторони. І ще дуже-дуже зараз популярно менторство, і я б дуже радила вам знайти на LinkedIn людей, які вже на тій позиції, яка вам подобається, яку ви собі хочете, і запитати, чи вони не хочуть собі менті, щоб вони стали вашим ментором. Багато моїх колег мають таких людей, яких вони менторять, тобто вони вам допомагають і як із пошуком роботи, тому що вони мають багато контактів людей в цій же індустрії. Також вони підтягують вас з навичками, знаннями, що зараз популярно, що зараз в тренді, що треба казати на інтерв'ю, які навички точно треба, допомагають вам з портфоліо, взагалі будь-що безкоштовно, і люди насправді дуже раді допомагають, вам тільки потрібно знайти правильну людину. Отак от. Із порад створіть свій наратив, таку свою історію. Тобто, коли ви проходите на інтерв'ю, ви маєте чітко знати, хто ви, що ви хочете. І впевнено це все говорить їм. І навіть якщо ви не знаєте, що ви хочете робити після цієї роботи, які будуть ваші наступні кроки в кар'єрі, це не має значення. Вам просто треба придумати, який ви зараз маєте шлях для себе в голові. І чітко це проговорювати, тому що інтерв'юери хочуть бачити, що ви впевнені. Це основне. Друге, оптимізуйте своє резюме і заявки, знову ж таки, через чат GPT. Це взагалі була моя права рука з всіх цих заявках, тому що це займає дуже багато часу, кожну заявку зробити, мільйон цих питань туди внести. Я просто скидувала цю всю job description в чат GPT, писала «напиши мені keywords», воно мені виділяє keywords, і я просто їх копірую і вставляю в своє резюме. І це вже через перший скринінг, вже воно ваше резюме нагору піднімає. Третє, пишіть людям на LinkedIn та маленьким бізнесам. Дуже багато робот не виставляють на основні сайти роботи, і люди когось шукають, тому що для компанії це також дорого. Цей весь рекрутинг-процес – це дуже дорого. І навіть мене взяли на цю роботу тільки тому, що я прийшла інтерном, у них не було ресурсу проводити повноцінний рекрутинг на цю позицію, тому вони взяли мене, перевели просто з одної команди в другу. І навіть якщо ви не впевнені, що ви хочете зразу на цю роботу, то ви можете піти, спробувати, а потім перевестись в другу команду. Особливо в великих компаніях така тема дуже-дуже популярна. Тобто вам головне просто, як англійці кажуть, get your feet in the door, зайти в двері. І далі ви вже там викрутитесь. Відвідуйте нетворкінги, івенти, я думаю, ви вже цим і займаєтесь, ви на правильному шляху, але ще є івенти з індустрії, які вам цікаві. Я ходила на жінки в тех, і там дуже багато є людей, які шукають людей на роботу, є люди, які шукають роботу, є люди, які просто знайомляться. І це дуже все органічно, і теж, якщо вони не виставляють роботу офіціально, то, можливо, вони когось шукають саме такими способами. І це все будує ваш круг, ваше коло спілкування, і це дуже важливо. І у вас будуть контакти саме в той індустрії, в якій ви хочете працювати. І останнє, не здавайтеся, вам треба всього лише одне так. І з кожною відмовою ви на крок ближче до роботи, і це все реально. Нічого немає нереального, і зараз вони дуже з diversity and inclusion, вони дуже відкриті брати на роботу і іноземців, і з LGBTQ communities, і звідки. Тому все буде добре. Всі знайдуть роботу. Всім хватить. Якщо у вас є якісь питання, можете задавати. А ще немножечко self-promotion. Якщо комусь цікаво, я ж все-таки маркетолог. Якщо комусь цікава взагалі тема маркетингу і пошуку роботи, то на своєму тіктокі я ділюся порадами, як почати, показую, як я будувала своє портфоліо, які є маркетингові івенти, взагалі все в цій темі, як проходити нетворкінг, поради і вся ця тематика. Тому, якщо комусь цікаво, можете підписуватися.
А презентацію я скинула. Я зразу попереджаю. У мене є питання, а ви готові бути менті для когось?
Можу, в принципі, якщо комусь цікавий маркетинг, але в мене ще не настільки багато досвіду. Да, якщо комусь цікаво, то я рада відповісти на питання або навіть поспілкуватися.
Так, будь ласка. Торгувалися?
За зарплату? Да, звичайно. Спочатку це було якось трохи дивно, тому що взагалі після універу всі дуже важко знайти роботу, тому всі готові працювати за менш грошей. Але коли я попала на практику спочатку в цю компанію, і потім мене перевели в іншу, але вони мені не казали, що вони взагалі планують це робити. І вони до останнього мені казали, ми не знаємо, чи ми вас візьмемо. І я подавалась на інші роботи. Я паралельно проходила інтерв'ю в іншу компанію. І от я туди попала, вони мені дали офер, і вони дали офер з більшою зарплатою. І потім, коли до мене компанія, в якій я вже була, кажуть, у нас теж є для тебе позиція, і вони мені дають контракт, а там зарплата набагато менша, ніж мені запропонували. І я кажу, у мене є інший офер, і мені там предлагають стільки-то. Тобто, і вони підняли зарплату до цієї планки. То 100% треба завжди казати більше. В найгіршому випадку вони вам скажуть ні, але ви будете знати, що ви це спробували. Але часто вони піднімають зарплату, якщо питають.
Ще побутує така думка, що шукати роботу значно важче, ніж працювати вже. Чи це правда?
Да, я думаю, особливо нам, українцям, які привикли пахати, ми знаємо, що треба прикладати зусилля для того, щоб щось мати, то так. Я зараз працюю і з британцями, і з французами, і з німцями. Вони взагалі по-іншому підходять до роботи, і у них там work-life balance. От французи взагалі, я кажу, нам ж треба зробити там дедлайн, вона каже, в мене що, тільки ця робота, в мене взагалі в п'ятницю вихідна, може в понеділок поспілкуємося, якщо буде час. Да. Вони просто ще не знають, хто ми такі. Тобто, да.
Ще є запитання до Марини?
У мене дуже багато часу займає, тому що досить хороша англійська мова, але вакансії дуже важкі мовою написані. І по факту, тобто я читаю дуже багато тексту, щоб зрозуміти, хто дійсно їм потрібен. Не знаю, чи хтось з таким стикався.
Да.
Як пробиратися через ці тексти, чи може є якісь?
Просто розберіться, перечитайте декілька разів, підкресліть собі основне, запитайте в тому же ChatGPT, щоб це все воно вам спростило. І я просто писала, what does it mean? І вставляла copy-paste цю фразу. Які responsibilities, яка day-to-day. Я просто в ChatGPT це все прописую, і воно мені максимально все спрощувало. Тобто, да, це дуже...
Я навіть зустріла, що людина, яка оформлює декорацію вікон, вона теж називається маркетологом.
Да, кожен називає так, як хоче, але ви просто все це спрощуєте до основного, виділяєте основні навички, які вони хочуть, підроблюєте свій досвід під ці навички і конкретно там коротко про це все розказуєте. І ви можете спитати, а що це означає на інтерв'ю, або як взагалі виглядає день на цій посаді. Да.
Я розумію, у вас один приклад, але тим не менш. Я зараз, в мене work experience в London Transport Museum, власне, музей, де я хочу. І вони, я класифікую це як непрофесіоналізм. Ми питаємо, я не одна, нас там ціла група, які вакансії, не те, що там зарплатня, умови, хоча б які вакансії, вибачте, прибиральниця або тур, або інженер, тобто розрив та великий, і вони не відповідають. Оцей прикол, він, це нормально, ви так сказали, вони там до останнього не оголошували вам, чи є вакансія насправді при вашому інтернешіпі?
Тому що вони в мене просто була така ситуація, що зараз взагалі дуже багато компаній в скрутному становищі. Вони дуже багато людей скорочують, да, і взагалі тих, хто працювали вже дуже багато років, просто йдуть з компанії. І із-за цього у них, вони це називають hiring freeze, вони просто не знають. От чесно, вони не знають, навіть типу, колеги, які я доволі близько спілкувалася, і вони казали, типу, ми бачимо, там, ти стараєшся, і то, ну, ми тільки когось звільнили перед тим, як ти прийшла, то ми у нас просто немає куди тебе брати. Але потім вони знайшли якусь вакансію там, ну, і перевели мене. Тобто це може бути і правда, що вони так не знають. Дуже багато, ну тому що зараз таке скрутне становище у них. Але скоро це все мине, вони кажуть, що ну, такі критичні позиції вони набирають. То зараз трошки скруто з цим всім.
А перша ваша робота, на якій ви зараз знаходитесь, посада, ви знайшли через інтерншіп?
Да, я
Як
подала.
шукати інтерншіп? Це важче?
Ну, взагалі, спочатку я думала, що це було важко, тому що я 7 місяців шукала роботу. Тобто, понятно, що це не було просто. Але я зрозуміла те, що вони, в принципі, вони не так багато хочуть. Вони хочуть чути, що ви просто впевнені, що ви знаєте, що ви хочете, що ви можете зробити ту роботу плюс-мінус. Але вони не настільки хочуть якийсь огромний досвід. Оце я зрозуміла, коли я пройшла через всі ці інтерв'ю. І я шукала, просто на LinkedIn відправляла кучу резюме, пачками просто. Проходила максимально все, що я могла. І попала на практику. І мені не дуже сподобалась практика. Це було маркетинг, а це не те, що я хотіла. Але це мені дало дуже великий буст. Тобто потім, коли я вже була на практиці, і потім я шукала ще роботу, мені вже було набагато легше. Тобто перша робота – це найважче. А далі ви вже будете набагато цікавіші наступним роботодавцям, і вони вже будуть, деякі вже навіть мені писали, не знаю, 1-2 компанії, може, то, звісно, ще скам був, я не знаю. Ну, таке теж практикується.
Як знайти цю практику?
Ну, вони виставляють на LinkedIn або internship, або placements. Багато є, звісно, безкоштовних. І коли я ще була в універі, то я 3 місяці безкоштовно фултайм працювала, щоб якийсь досвід отримати. Це, звісно, довго. Але можна, якщо вам треба якісь навички, або ви хочете змінити якусь галузь, то прикольно контактувати маленькі бізнеси і казати, якщо я вам зроблю те-то, то там включу в своє портфоліо, ну, як типу бартер. І багато компаній таке практикують. І я багатьом так писала, пропонувала свої якісь мінімальні услуги маркетингу, і потім я так побудувала своє портфоліо, а їм важливо дивитися, що у вас є зацікавленість в тому, що ви робите, що у вас є якісь результати. Це не мають бути там, не знаю, в моїй індустрії там мільйони підписчиків, ще там куча кліків на рекламу і всяке таке. Просто вони хочуть бачити зміни, що до того, як ви це робили, там було такий результат, як ви за це взялися, ви це змінили. От вони хочуть бачити результат. Тобто, це так, як я знайшла практику. А так вони багато виставляють, є навіть сайти спеціальні, які виставляють тільки практики, або тільки типу, як плейсмент. Ну, плейсмент – це більше як для студентів. Або work experience. Ну, а взагалі дуже класно писати просто бізнесам, які вам цікаві самим, і питати, чи є у вас якась вакансія, а чи можу я вам з цим допомогти. Я там писала official або non-official opportunities. І це нормально. Ну, треба стукати в двері, щоб вам відчинили.
У мене ще таке питання. Коли людина вже працює, вже має роботу, чи вона припиняє пошук роботи?
Ні, взагалі мені мої колеги, теж, які мені допомагали на це інтерв'ю, інше готуватися, вони мені казали, неважливо, де ти, або ти тут залишишся, або ти коли ж підеш, тобі завжди треба працювати над собою. І найлегше піднімати зарплату такими оферами з інших компаній. Казати, мені тут предлагають більше, тобто надо райз. І таким чином вони, да, це нормальна практика. Треба над собою працювати і намагатися все, що ви робите на роботі, якось це зв'язувати з доходом компанії. Тобто казати, я зробила це, і в результаті це там заробило стільки-то грошей. Можливо, маркетинг – це теж така спеціальність, що не дуже легко це зробити. Але от таким чином треба намагатися показувати вклад, який ви робите в успіх компанії.
Я цікаво побачила маленький теж допис одної жінки, було нове до мене, може добиться. Вона каже, що не дуже часто, коли у менеджера є час вам ставити goals, і вона каже, що в Британії дуже спомічно, коли ти сама собі ставиш goals і показуєш менеджеру, а потім там через, грубо кажучи, 2 місяці ти така, ой, так дивися, оце зроблено, це зроблено, це зроблено. Вона каже, ви це збираєте і в кінці року ти вже, ну тобто вони вже не можуть, як це, вони люблять під кінець року зробити таку розмову і розказати, як все погано в компанії, якраз перед тим, як нараховувати бонус. То каже, якщо ти зробиш собі таку сама дисципліну і будеш показувати
Прогрес?
Ставити самі собі цілі в компанії, навіть якщо тобі їх не ставлять, а потім так, зроблено, я поставила тепер наступні цілі, то це дуже хороше дає кар'єрний буст.
Да, і ще можна також записувати, там, якщо ви залишаєтесь працювати довше, або щось суперсрочно треба зробити, або такі ситуації нестандартні, то теж треба вести як список цих всіх ситуацій, коли приходить час там казати, що я хочу більшу зарплату, вони питають, чого? Ну, тому що я там те зробила, те рішила, і вони такі, ага, ну, понятно, піднімаємо. Якби так завжди було. Ні, ну, взагалі в нормальних компаніях вони ставлять цілі. Вони ставлять цілі, навіть неважливо, чи вони в компанії, ваші особисті цілі, і потім з'єднують вас з людьми в компанії, які мають ці навички. І коли ви досягаєте цих цілей, вам ще щось там, якісь бонуси платять, але я ще тільки буду ставити свої перші цілі, то я не знаю, чи там точно платять, чи тільки розказують.
Нас буде просто запросити, наприклад, наприкінці року вас, і проговоримо ще раз цей момент.
Да, обіцяти не жениться, як моя мама каже, так що... Так.
Добре, дякую вам.
Якщо у вас є якісь питання, то пишіть мені на LinkedIn, я буду рада допомогти.
Я поширю лінк на LinkedIn. Марині, дуже дякуємо за те, що прийшли і розповіли, як воно там всередині відбувається все. І ще раз нагадую про LinkedIn. Це гарна платформа для того, щоб створити портфоліо про свій досвід, про свої інсайти. Так як робить, наприклад, Марина, ви можете слідкувати. І так само можуть слідкувати її керівники за її прогресом за допомогою LinkedIn. Зараз ми буквально кілька секунд і перейдемо до наступної пункту нашої програми. Безпосередньо до сесії. Нагадую, що сьогодні ми говоримо про джоб-інтерв'ю. І в нас Зоряна, яка... Скільки джоб-інтерв'ю ти пройшла?
Ой, я не рахувала. Я не рахувала, скільки інтерв'ю. Останнім часом не було. Так, мені продовжувати англійською, українською? Англійською, окей. А можна цей комп'ютер забрати? I like it. So it's mobile. I don't have a pocket. Okay, that's fine. Right. Oh, lovely, brilliant. Okay. So as we are practicing English, and for everyone, it's very important to continue practicing English to enhance your skills. as you will all have to be attending, as you all have been attending job interviews. And I think it's, well, and I have prepared the session, so I've been doing this in English for quite a while. So I don't know if I need to introduce myself again. I'm Zoryana. So you've met me before. I work as an ESOL lecturer at an FE college, further education college, teaching adults as well as young learners, 16 to 18-year-old, 19 to 23-year-old students, as well as adult students, mainly ESOL, English to speakers of other languages, as well as some maths, some entry maths and some ICT to our young learners, study program learners. I'm also supporting my students with their employability skills, teaching them to write a cover letter, to write a CV, prepare them for a job interview. As well, previously I worked for other companies as well, like social enterprises, it was like a small social enterprise that had branches all over London. And we also delivered training programs, including employability. So I was I was in charge of the training employability program to English people, to native speakers who have been long-term unemployed and were registered with the Job Centre Plus. When I came there first time, I had the audience of the class of 30 people, English people, native speakers, and I started my session. And I remember that they were first, they were a bit confused because I still do have an accent, and they said, oh, she's a foreigner and she came here to teach us English. And I said, okay. So first it wasn't a very warm welcome, to be honest with you. But after I started, like a few seconds later, I could see that the audience started accepting me and they started listening to me. And I said, oh, okay, right. I can get something out of it. And then at the end of the session, and then they started taking photos of everything what I was writing down. They started asking questions. And at the end of the session, one of gentlemen approached me and said, I have to be honest with you. When you just came in, I thought, oh, what is this foreigner going to teach us, you know? And I said, well, I'm not surprised. I'm not mad with you, you know, it's all right. And then he said, I just wanted to say thank you to you. It was really, really helpful. You really helped me to understand, you know, something that I have never understood, something that I have never been taught. So it's great when you can help people, yeah? From the language point of view, because probably it's never been, you know, taught in that way, and he loved that. And I always, even if it was employability, I still, you know, implemented some language in there. So I saw that they needed some spelling, to improve some spelling techniques, to improve some language writing, some layout, and you know, and I implemented that, and that's what they needed. And I was really glad that actually, all right, okay, so I did manage to get a good feedback, and I did manage to contribute something to those people, and they left happy, they left satisfied. And if somebody got the job, then, well, it's difficult for people who are long-term unemployed, but even to help them with the confidence, you know, to build their confidence if people are long-term unemployed, and even if they land their first job interview, that's a great success. Yeah, so I worked with those people for a year. I helped them with CV writing, and I helped them with job interview preparation, as well as teaching them employability course. Okay, straight to the point because, well, I didn't plan this. It's just, it was relevant, I think. So let's get to the job interview session. I can see we don't have much time. So again, I'm not sure I will cover everything what I've planned. So what I want you to do is just quickly write, scan the code and write your occupation. What is your job? What is your occupation? Scan the code, and if you've got 2, 3, 4 different areas that you worked in, it could be your occupation, or it could be your job, or it could be your area of work, sector. Just scan the code and enter type one word or 2 words if you've got 2 jobs, if you've got experience working in different fields, and then publish. Okay? Have you finished typing? Okay. As you have, can you just say, I am, or I worked, just say, Inna.
I was checking quality of food on a bus in a restaurant.
Okay.
I'm a pastry chef. Pastry chef.
Pastry chef. Ksenia.
Now I'm a waitress.
Natalia?
I'm a senior officer. I work in Ukrainian company.
At the moment. Stefania.
I'm a psychologist and psychological therapist.
Oksana?
I'm a lecturer, higher educational establishment, English teacher also, like, together.
English teacher. Yes, I don't see your names.
Victoria.
Mhm.
I work as PR manager in communications.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a accountant.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, I don't see your names. Ludmila.
Sales manager.
Sales manager.
I'm a graphic designer.
Thank you. Olena. Manager. Alexei.
I looked as a radio engineer.
Radio engineer. Thank you. Have I spoken to everyone? Victoria?
PR manager.
PR manager.
AI artist.
AI artist. Woo! That's interesting. Lovely. Okay, right. Let me exit my full screen. Right. So job interviews. Job interviews. How is it going? How challenging it is? What do you find the most challenging? when it comes to job interviews? Have you recently attended a job interview? Recently?
To sell yourself.
Is the most challenging?
Yeah, it's stressful. It's a huge, huge stress for me.
Okay, right. And why is it stressful? Can I ask?
Yeah, because it is not kind of your job. Yeah,
Mhm.
you have another job. You have another skill. When you listen about all this stuff, it's kind of your job. Yeah, you should improve your new skill, kind of finding job. Very interesting to communicate with HR managers who, as usually, who don't know anything about your profession. Yeah. But
Are you trying to say that you are applying for different area, in different sector job?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Mm-hmm.
And it's for me it's the worst.
It's always stressful. For me, it's stressful. So every time whenever I go to a job interview, it's stressful. It's not easy. It's not easy. Applying for jobs, going to job interviews, it's like another job. And it is stressful, I must admit, but we have to learn how we can make it less stressful. So what we can do to make it less stressful. What can we do?
I eat, for example, as a night.
You eat the night before. Okay. Yes, very useful. Absolutely.
It's necessary. I mean, you feel more comfortable.
Before interview, I cannot. I lost my appetite and
You-
my passion to life. I lost everything before interview.
Okay. Any? Prepare. So prepare is the key. Preparation is the key for a job interview. How can you prepare? What can you do?
Five most popular questions, what they ask, or if you have more, for example, more than 5 interviews, you can find most popular questions. And for me, you can preparation right answer, because if you answer like you mean, not your meaning, they need right answer. It's like a strange. Why your opportunity or your thinking, it's not right, but they like using shabloon answers. You must need to answer like shabloon. If that's wrong.
You have to give them the answer they want to hear, and you have to tailor your answers towards the requirements of the job. So your skills, you have to tailor your skills towards the job, the description and the skills which are needed for that job. If you don't have those skills or that experience, you have to talk about your transferable skills. And you never say no at the job interview. I mean, whenever they ask you, oh, do you have experience dealing with difficult customers or something, or anything else, anything, you never say no. Even if you don't have experience, you have the skills or you have similar experience. So you always have to find something which is similar to what they want to hear. Right, so let's have a look. So if you have attended some job interviews, I want you to write down which ones have you found the most difficult, the most challenging, and then we will try to look at them in more detail and see how we can prepare, how we can answer those questions. And as I said, as the preparation is the key, is very, very important, is the most important actually, because that helps build your confidence. So if you go to a job interview and if you're not prepared, then you don't feel confident, then you feel stressed. So if you go, let's say, to the exam and you're not prepared, how do you feel? Stressed. And it's actually an exam. It is an exam. And it is stressful, I must admit. You know, there are different types of interviews. Sometimes they consist of different stages, lots of stages. Let's say when I applied for a teaching job, when I was returning from my maternity leave, I was being made redundant in my company where I used to work. So when I was returning from maternity leave, I started applying for teaching jobs. And one of the jobs that I applied for, the interview process consisted of 4 stages. 4 stages. Stage 1, maths test. Stage 2, English test. Stage 3, a demo lesson. And stage 4, an interview. So just bear in mind, I applied for an ESOL teacher's job, English to speakers of other languages. So I had to do a maths test, even though that I do have all the qualifications. I'm fully qualified teacher with diplomas, with certificates, and with everything, right? So I'm fully qualified. I still have to prove that I can do maths, okay? So I have to do the test, and I had to pass with a certain percentage, with a certain level. So if I pass the maths test, I have to do English test. I'm a teacher of ESOL, okay? I have to do the English test. So I do the English test, English language test. And then, if you pass that stage, you do a demo lesson. You teach the students. And only then, you have an interview, the panel interview. So 4 people, 4, 5 people, 3 people sometimes, depends. And they ask you a set of questions. So every company, every institution, they have, when they do interviews, they have a set of questions that they ask. And there's different criteria as well how they select, the candidates, the best candidates for the job. And they have the scoring system as well. So when you answer the question, they give you the score. I didn't see that score, okay? I've never worked in HR, but I know that they give you a score, how you answered the question. And only then, they give you the answer. They tell you whether you have been successful or you haven't been successful. So that's how long the process used to be. I'm not sure how long the process is now for a teaching position, but some other jobs have different processes, interview processes. Some industries have different processes. They have task-based interviews. They can give you the task to do as well as the interview. For example, somebody was applying for the admin assistant job in our department, in ESOL department, and part of the job interview was a task, to do a task on a computer, the practical task, something what they will have to be doing on a daily basis, like to enter the data onto the computer without mistakes, to write a letter to a student or something like that. So they are basically assessing the skills that will be needed in this particular job, and then the interview. So they are testing you on the specific job-related task. And I think it's quite good actually, because that's what the person will be doing, right? Okay, going back to the questions, right? What are the most challenging questions? What I want you to do is type the questions which you find the most challenging. Can you scan the code, please? As soon as you scan the code, I'll give you the instruction how to type your question. Has everybody scanned it? Yes, scanned it? Okay. So what you do now is, I don't know what you can see on your phone, either the plus or the pen. So you click here, and you can do it anonymously. You don't have to write your name, or if you want, you can write your name, and then you can write a question, a difficult question that you were asked, or a difficult question that you might want to know how to answer, how to find the best answer to that question, or you would like me to help you with that. Can you please read the questions that you've written? Yeah? Yeah. Say again?
My question is, what salary do you want?
What salary do you want?
Usually, you see what is just you, and you know, and you're not ready to have answer for this question. Because the question is for me, it's like, what I really want, you can't give it to me.
Okay.
Because I'm not in that position that you can pay me this money I really want. But what I should answer, it's like when you start smiling, it's not so funny. So it's real question. Because if for example they give me 10-50 per hour and I want 13 and I really need it, and I'm sure that I can get it because I really have good experience in this type of job what I'm applying. So, and they told me like, why 13? Even I can't get it. So what was the question? Why you asking me? Because I had this question before, and I told them, so I want this and this, and they told me I even can't get it. So I say, what the question was? What you want?
This is my answer.
Yeah. So you asked me. I told you, and
Well,
it's like some time. Yeah.
Normally, the salary shouldn't be discussed at the initial stage of the interview. Normally, and when you apply for a job, you normally know the range because there's a range from to.
Yeah, but was one. I had one experience that there was gave us like
many different vacancies we can apply, and there was no salary, so they was choose like, oh, you can be a sailor, or you can be a waiter, you can be a manager. Just for hundreds of people, they can choose me for this job. They didn't give any salary,
choice?
any choices what to choose.
What you can choose?
Yes.
Okay.
And they was asking me the question what salary I want, but I put 14 per hour, and they was like, why you want?
Because I have the skills, I have experience, and
yeah, it was one question, yeah. For me, it's like one Englishman was telling us, never ask about salary. And my question is, why? I'm applying for this job, and I want to know because they usually put 11 till 14. But it's different. It's £3. It's too much for me still.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, what can I get? 11, 12?
If you really want a job, let's say, and well, from my experience, the salary, you know, was never negotiated, was never discussed at the job interview. That's from my personal experience. So for me, the most important was to get a job. And then the next stage, when I had the job offer, I started negotiating the salary. And then you can discuss the salary. You can turn the job offer down. You can say, I'm sorry, I cannot accept this offer. I'm afraid I'll have to turn it down because the salary, I'm not satisfied with the salary I've been offered. But if you really want a job, then you might accept what they offer. But there is still you know, room for negotiation. After you have got a job, after you've been offered a job, you can still negotiate the salary. And if they really want you, if they're really happy with you, then they may offer you more money. But remember that all employers are trying to save money. They are trying to employ people and give them the least when they employ. So even when I came as a fully qualified teacher, I still got not the minimum, but on they put me on the bottom of the pay scale. And that's how it works. But then gradually your salary goes up every year, because in many companies they have their own pay scales, and in some companies they don't, and it's not fair. And the same, sometimes you may be working with the people and, well, you know that they are doing the same type of jobs, they're getting more money than you, even though you are more skilled. So it all depends. It all depends. But there is always room for negotiation after you've been offered a job. So that is my personal experience and advice. So if I really want a job, I would, I wouldn't ask like directly, or I wouldn't be very like you know, direct about the salary. I would say, well, I hope, well, actually I wouldn't, at the initial stage, I wouldn't answer this question because I want to get a job offer. This is my main aim. I'm here for a job interview, and my main aim is to get a job. My second aim is, as soon as I've got the job offer, I want to negotiate the salary that they are going to offer me. So that's how I would approach the situation. And then I would negotiate the salary. And if they really wanted me, you know, if they really wanted me to work for them, fully qualified, experienced, of course they have to pay me more money. And it depends who they want to employ, whether they want to save money and employ somebody with no experience and, you know, and save, then maybe they, you know, they don't deserve you. Okay. Have I answered your question? So I hope, for example, if I had to answer this direct question, I would never give the direct answer. I would say I hope for a fair match of the salary with my qualifications, skills, and experience. And you reiterate what experience and qualifications you have, and that you know the range. Normally, when you apply for a job, there is a range, the minimum and the maximum. Yeah.
Can I ask about the range?
Sure.
As we're talking about the salaries.
Yeah.
So let's say you apply for a job, and at the first stage of the interview, they always ask you, do you agree with the range? So this is also kind of a turning point when you need to.
Do you agree with the range?
Yeah.
But the range would be very, like, for example, 20 to 30,000 pounds.
Yeah, but for instance, let's
Yeah.
the range 35,000. So, and you sort of agree on this range at the beginning. So you already established with the person. With the
You are aware of the range.
Yes.
But to agree with the range, well, you don't know what they will offer you.
Okay, they might know at the end they will offer you the lowest possible range.
Of course.
This is the time for negotiation because of course
Yes,
you would want to go
absolutely.
for the highest thing. But at the same time, if you don't agree with this range, is this the point when you at the beginning need to say them goodbye and don't even try? You know what I mean? What if like 35 is not a range, and I have qualifications that can be paid more?
Means maybe whether they can be flexible just to push the limits and should
Yeah.
pay more. if it's
Should
not
you really
working
do
out.
this at the beginning? Because you see, the situation is that they will ask you this question and you agree on the range. But in the end, you see that actually your qualifications are much bigger than that.
Yeah.
But then negotiation at the end might be a bit strange because they might say, but you already agreed on this range.
I wouldn't say that you agreed to the range. You are aware, when you applied for a job, you are aware of the range. But there is always room for negotiation, and it's normal.
So
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I was just wondering what's the culture like? Can you really rise the band over the range even though they settle it already?
I think you can. I think you can, especially if there is a pay scale scheme existent within the company. But again, you know, even like, for example, the place where I am, there are still, you know, people with the same qualifications, with the same amount of experience, and having different salaries, to be honest with you. So it all. It depends on lots of factors, to be honest with you. It depends on lots of factors, yeah. Right. So, but again, I would still negotiate. I would still negotiate, and even if you really want that job, you could negotiate. You could talk about future, for example, possibilities of, you know, going on a higher pay scale. Whether there is any room for. Let's say, for a pay rise after the successful completion of your probation period, like after 3 months, after 6 months, after, you know, 1 year. So I think you can still talk about that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Any more questions? Someone would like to read? Would anyone like to read another one? Yeah. Yes. What motivates you? Yeah. Where is that? Besides salary. Okay, so this is your homework. This is your homework. You should have researched, explored the company and what they really, their goals, their vision, and say what you can offer to them. Yes.
And they asked me about my plan for 5 years, and I want to ask them what your plan, because you just started and you but working hours it's 9 hours a day.
Mhm.
And they ask me what motivates me. And it's for me strange question from this company, because if I apply for this job, it means it's motivate for me experience, not their salary, yes. But they ask me, it's for me strange.
The type of job that you applied for, okay, is that something what you love doing? Is that something what you are passionate about? So you just have to talk about what you love doing, why you love doing it, and what you want to contribute to the company as well. So what motivates you, so what you are getting from it, and what are you contributing to the company as well. So, and in terms of the answering the question, what are your goals for long-term goals or short-term goals, long-term goals, they just want to know whether you are going to stay with them and what you can bring to the company. So basically, you just have to convince them that your plans are to stay with the company as long as they will give you the opportunities to develop, to contribute your skills and experience, as well as gain some knowledge from them. So basically it has to be the mutual give and take. So whenever you answer this type of questions, you have to really do your research and see what they want, what their vision is, what they really want, okay? And you're ready to bring this to them. You're ready to bring this to them, and at the same time, you want to learn. So it's the mutual, it works both ways. So yes, you need a job. We all know why we need a job, because we need the money, but you don't say that, right? But we don't only work because we need the money. There is some other satisfaction, job satisfaction why you work. For example, I don't only work for the money. I also work because I love helping people, and I get satisfaction from making a difference in people's lives, you know. And when, for example, students come to me and they tell me, oh, you know, thank you very much, I've learned so much today, or you've changed my life, I got a job, and you know, you made a big difference in my life. And you know, when some people do come and say these things to you, so this really, that's what motivates me, for example, in my job. So my job is my students, is my people. So, and if I do manage to make a difference in their life, that's the biggest reward I can get, and that is my motivation. Yes, I develop professionally. I use my skills, and I share my skills and knowledge and with my students. And if I manage to get the positive outcome, the result out of it, then you know, that is the best thing what I can have from the job, apart from the salary, which is unfortunately not very high, you know, in the UK for teachers. So one of my students, for example, she's just entry level 2. Which is not even intermediate level. She approached me and she said, teacher, thank you so much. You helped me so much. I've improved my English language, and I got admitted to university. I said, what? University? So, wow, I'm so glad. This is like music to my ears, you know. With the entry level 2, she got admitted to university. So I was really, really happy. And if you have these cases, you know, if you have the people who you manage, you know, to help make a difference in their lives, that's, for example, the biggest reward for me. That's what motivates me. So I think you have to think about that, what motivates you, and make sure that it aligns with the company's vision and goals as well, what the company wants as well. So you have to be a bit, how shall I say, sometimes say something what they want to hear, you know. Okay, right. Anything else? Yeah, Okay, so why shall we hire you? So basically, you have to sell yourself. You have to point out your unique skills, why you are special. What do you have that the other candidates don't have? Do the research of the company. What can you offer to the company that the other candidates don't have? You've got a lot, believe me. So, and you can't be shy. You have to talk about, yes? Okay. So, what was the most difficult situation in your previous job? How did you solve it? So when answering this question again, this is your homework. You have to do your homework and you have to think about difficult situations in the past and how you resolve them. And I would apply the STAR method. Have you ever heard of the STAR method? Have you ever heard of the STAR method? Answering the question, situation, task, action and result. So whenever you are answering these questions, you have to give specific examples. Don't be vague in your answers, vague, general. Don't be vague in your answers. You can be vague. You can say, for example, one sentence which is general, but then you have to go into details. You have to really you can't answer the question on the spot. It's very difficult unless it has been very recently that you managed to resolve a very difficult situation in your job, for example. But even you ask me a question now, I wouldn't be able to answer straight away because I would have to think. I would have to sit and think, okay, what was that? You can't do that in a job interview because it has to be, okay, you are allowed some time to think, but not 2-3 minutes, okay? A few seconds and then you have to give the answer, right? So for this reason, you will have to prepare your answer. You have to write it down. The situation, task, what you had to do, action, what actions did you take, and the result. So people want to hear, employers want to hear the results, the outcome. What impact did it have on the company? Did it benefit from, you know, did they benefit from you, from this outcome? How did it change? What impact did it have on the company? You know, figures, numbers, okay? So last year I had 100% exam pass rate, for example. All my students passed exams. 100% attendance. They want to hear figures, numbers of what you have done. What effect, what impact did it have on the company's goals, let's say. Okay, tell us about your biggest achievement. Is it a difficult question? What do you think? Is it difficult? I think for everybody it will be different, probably individual. So you have to know what is your biggest accomplishment, what is your biggest achievement. It could be your qualification, it could be something you have achieved in a job. It can be anything. It can be a skill, project that you worked on which was very successful. It could be absolutely anything. It could be absolutely anything. My biggest achievement was when I managed to achieve my postgraduate certificate level 7 at the university here in London, it was extremely challenging because I was working full-time. At that time I had 2 jobs, 5 days in one company and Saturday in a different company, and I was pregnant with my daughter. And it took me a year of very, very hard work. So I had to be very disciplined and very hardworking. So, and it was extremely challenging because it was. And I think that it was my biggest achievement because I managed to do so many things, to achieve so many things in that 1 year and successfully. So I'm really proud of that, because it's difficult to raise children on its own, right? And it's difficult to study as well, and work. So full-time work, 6 days a week, part of master's degree at the university here in London, at one of the best universities here in London, and being pregnant and giving birth to my daughter. So I think that this was my biggest achievement. So it was challenging because of the time and the energy that you had to put in. And at some point, my tutor from the university told me off. She told me that I was crazy. And I said, thank you. Okay, so that was my biggest achievement. So for everybody, it's different and individual. Okay, shall we move on? Or, yeah? Move on. Okay, let's have a look. What else do we have in here? Okay, good and bad things to say at a job interview. I just want you to scan that. Is that what you can see? Yeah? Is it working?
Yeah.
Good. Done or not yet? Done? Okay. So, Maryna. No? Maya. Maryna. Can you read this? I'm really nervous. Where does it go? Okay. Oksana.
I love the idea of this National Friday. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, why?
Actually, I have put it to good things.
Okay.
I feel like maybe in that way you will be like, you will feel close to their culture.
Because many companies, they have this culture of giving you snacks, fruits, and whatsoever, and you can just, give a compliment to them that it's nice that they're doing this.
Um,
It's not because I'm going to work for
Okay, if the idea if the idea would be for socializing, the main aim for socializing, that would be not that bad. However, if it's just purely free snacks, then no. Okay, so next one, Stefania. So my current boss is horrible. Okay, you never say bad things about your employer. Never, never, ever. You never criticize. Okay? Right. Okay, can you read it? I'm looking for new challenges, yeah. Okay. Name? Ola. I really need this job. Okay. Oksana.
In the short term, I would like to develop my sales skills and gain more experience in selling.
Good. Okay. Victoria.
I work quite well under pressure. I find it very motivation boosting. Classic. Love it.
Anna. My weakness? Oh, Alina, sorry.
My weakness is that I really hard.
It's good. Okay, Ola?
How much will I earn?
Why is it bad?
We have just discussed it. Do you think it's a good thing to talk about this straight away? Okay. Not in this way, right? Olena? Okay. Right, this is just to distract you a little bit. You know all the answers, of course. Right, let's have a look. What comes next in our... right, so I have got some interesting things. For example, for answering the question, tell me about yourself. So how do you find this question? Easy, difficult? Difficult, quite difficult. Okay, so why do you find it difficult?
First of all, because of different experience in a job culture here and in ours, because we couldn't just list our previous job, and here is not what they want to hear from you.
Okay, right. So, do you repeat what you have written down in your CV? Tell me about yourself. Do you repeat what is written in your CV?
Why not? They never read it.
Okay.
I think it could be just not exactly that way which it was written.
I absolutely agree with you. So basically, you just add some extra details. You are adding to what has been written in your CV, and some interesting, some unique details about yourself as well. There is a very good advice here how to write an elevator pitch. Elevator pitch, I said, or the answer to the question, tell me about yourself, is basically the elevator pitch. Have you ever heard of elevator pitch?
We were told in one of the sessions.
Yes. So can you explain how you understand that? Yeah? No?
It's when you're in a lift
Yes.
with someone and you have, let's say, this 30 seconds and you need to sell something to this person or present yourself.
You have to present yourself within a short period of time, which is the length of time when the elevator is an American word for a lift, basically goes down or up. and you have to present yourself within a short period of time. So there is some really good, there are some really good instructions how to do that. How to write the elevator pitch, how to write about yourself. So you have to think about lots of things, here there are instructions how you can do it within 15 minutes. We are not going to do it now, but I'm going to share this resource with you as everything else. And there are some good pieces of advice, good instructions for you to think about yourself. So for example, what makes you different in this field? How do you stand out? What benefit would you like to bring to the world? That's what they like to hear. So if you are making a career change, how do your current skills and experiences relate to where you want to be? And here are some ideas. So you just simply write it on sticky notes first. So what do you do? Why does it matter? So these are very important questions. Yeah, so it's not just enough, not sufficient to say, okay, I'm an ESOL teacher, I teach English. It's not enough to say, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why is it important? Why? Why do you like it? What motivates you? That is just another way, okay? What motivates me is making difference in people's lives. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. Another thing, why do you do it? What's next? So yes, you have to refer to the past, to the present, and to the future in your elevator pitch. And right, let's have a look. Do you want to have a look at my elevator pitch? I've just written down something. Okay, where is it? Is it here? No. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so that is the first. I've got two versions. One of them is just a simple one that I've written down. The second one, I used the AI to redraft it. Yeah? So, I'm an ESOL lecturer at an FE college in London with extensive experience in teaching English as a second and a foreign language. I help my students to succeed in their challenging learning journey, to develop their language as well as employability and other life skills, realize their full potential, achieve qualifications and be successful in their lives. I make a difference in students' lives, and that is what inspires and motivates me the most. I'm really passionate about learning and experimenting with innovative teaching approaches and methods as well as technologies, which has made my lessons more creative, engaging, fun and effective. Sharing my best teaching practices with my colleagues and delivering teacher training specifically on the use of technologies in teaching has contributed to the best teacher practice as well as learning experience and students' attainment and achievement in my department and college as a whole. It has also been making a big difference in eco-friendly, paperless approach. Okay, so that's what I have written down about myself as an elevator pitch. And the second one, I just asked the AI, the artificial intelligence, the ChatGPT, to redraft it, to change it slightly. So it's slightly different. So I am an ESOL lecturer working at an FE college in London where I bring a wealth of experience to teaching English as both a second and a foreign language. My primary goal is to guide my students on their challenging learning journey, helping them to develop their language skills as well as fostering their employability and essential life skills. My true inspiration comes from witnessing my students reach their full potential, achieve qualifications, and ultimately succeed in their lives. What sets me apart is my unwavering commitment to making a positive impact in my students' lives. I'm deeply passionate about education, and I'm constantly exploring innovative teaching approaches, methods, and cutting-edge technologies to create engaging, enjoyable, and effective lessons. Furthermore, I'm dedicated to sharing my best teaching practices with my colleagues and offering teacher training specifically focused on the integration of technology in education, of technology in education. This not only enhances the overall teaching quality, but also elevates the learning experience, resulting in improved student attainment and achievements within my department. Moreover, these efforts have significantly contributed to a more environmentally friendly, paperless approach, which aligns with today's sustainability goals. So this is a bit more complicated, but my advice is don't use complicated language. Use something simple. Yeah, ChatGPT is good, but when it comes to actually answering the question, tell me about yourself, you have to be simple. You have to you have to be natural. Don't try to memorize the difficult words. Don't do that. You can ask ChatGPT to simplify the language if you find it difficult to memorize, to remember. Don't memorize. Don't memorize. Don't memorize word by word. Practice, yes. So practice this elevator pitch. Record yourself. It's very important, especially if English is your foreign language, right? Not your first language. For everyone it's difficult. Even for people whose English is their first language, it's difficult. It's not easy. This is one of the most difficult questions to answer because it's an open question and you have to be concise and you have to sell yourself. Do you have any questions? Right. What about what are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? How do you find to answer these questions? How to not to have a list? Oh, not to tell the list. So you only choose one. You only choose one weakness. And absolutely, absolutely. I have a lovely resource here that helps you develop the technique to talk about. That's the whole lesson on talking about your weaknesses and how to answer this question correctly. So why do they ask this question? What are your weaknesses?
Because they have free time.
Because they have free time.
They want to see that you are working on yourself.
Absolutely. That you are working on yourself, you know how to improve, and you are constantly developing your skills and working on your weaknesses, and you are constantly improving. Yeah? And you also, well, let's say, accept critical, constructive criticism, let's say, because if you are criticized, okay, we don't like to be criticized, but it depends how you are criticized. So if you are criticized constructively, if you are given a constructive feedback, you can learn from that. Positive constructive feedback, I would say. Yeah? So you can learn from that, and you can work on yourself, and you can improve yourself. So if I say, what is your weakness? Is it sufficient to say, I'm a perfectionist?
Yes, it's weaknesses.
Yes. Is it sufficient? Are you happy with my answer if I say I'm a perfectionist? And that's it?
No, it's not enough.
Why is it not enough?
Because you have lied, as usual, on interview, that you work on your...
I don't lie. This is true.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
You should answer that you work and improve and try to do something with it.
Yes.
I just want to know how it's significant in this type of job you applying for, or if your weaknesses is that you usually late and your shift started from 6:30 a.m. in the morning, so this is your problem. Maybe you should change your shift and evening shift, so and you will be on time, like always, not as in the morning. So this is like one of the...
First of all, you should pick something, choose something which is not critical to the job you are applying for. something where, for example, if you're applying for a customer service assistant job and you say that a customer service assistant job, yeah, and your main role is communicating with the customers, and if you say that your weakness is communication skills, then you are not going to get anywhere, right? So your weakness has to be something which is not critical, yeah, to the job. Secondly, when you say something, when you say I'm a perfectionist, and if you don't give the details, if you don't give an example of what you mean, what it means in the context of your work or of your studying, and if you don't say how you work to improve or how it affects your life, how it affects your work life, how it affects your personal life, for example, and whether you are doing something about it, whether you have done something about that. So in this worksheet, we have got lovely exercise, actually, a lovely exercise. Not sure we will be able to do that. Okay, so this one was, so let's read an example which was adapted from Indeed. So everybody knows the Indeed website, yeah? It's a very, very useful website it's an American website. However, it's been very useful with lots of examples of job interviews, particular questions and answers, how to give answers. Slightly complicated language, however, what you can do, you can copy and paste from Indeed and copy and paste into ChatGPT and ask to simplify if you find it slightly difficult. Simple as that. Okay, so because I love my work, I have ambitious career goals. It can be difficult for me to keep a healthy balance between work and my personal life. I have seen a negative impact on my motivation when I ignore my personal needs. As the result, I have worked on creating space in my schedule to spend more time with my family. Taking small actions like putting my phone on silent during dinner time is helpful. When I maintain a good work-life balance, it can be more productive and I feel excited about coming to work in the morning. This is slightly silly, but as an example, how to answer the question. So you state your weakness. What is your weakness? Here. It can be difficult for me to keep a healthy balance between work and my personal life. I don't think it's a very good example of a weakness, because if you can't keep balance between your work and your personal life, it's not great, is it? But the idea here is to show that you do something about it. So you talk about weakness, then the context, okay, so you give an example, and then improvement measures, what you do about that or what you have done about that. So let's say here we've got some weaknesses, yeah? We've got some weaknesses, and I have this activity on this matching app. So I don't know whether you want to do that, whether we have time to do that. Do you want to do that on the app? Yeah? To match weaknesses to the improvement measures, yeah? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weaknesses, and how you can improve, what you can say, how you are improving on them. So I can share with you the code on that. Just give me a second. Here. I have to share with you, okay. Right. No, that's not. Oh, sorry. I have to go here to my activities, I think. Can you see job interview? Here. Okay. Here. I'm not sure you will be able to see that on your phones because the text might be too small, so we may have to do that together. If it's too small, we may have to do it together. So can you scan the code, please? All done? Can you read it or no? Too small, okay. We can do it together if it's too small, it's not a problem. So we can read and try to answer. Can you read it from the board? Can you read it from the board? From the screen? Okay. So if you are ready, if you found one, just yeah, put your hand up and say that you want to read. You didn't scan. Okay. Yeah? Yeah? So read it.
About detail, I focus too much on details.
Details.
I have been striving to improve in this area by checking in with myself at regular intervals and giving myself a chance to refocus on the bigger picture.
Yeah. So I focus too much on details. I've been striving to improve in this area by checking in with myself at regular intervals and giving myself a chance to refocusing on the bigger picture. Okay, any more? Christina?
It can be difficult for me to maintain a healthy work-life balance. The answer is, as a result, I have worked on creation space in my shoulders for focus on volunteering and spending time with my family. Yeah?
I can have trouble asking for help with the last one. I have learned that it's much more beneficial both for me and the business to reach out when I do not understand something or feel burned out with my work.
So I can have trouble asking for help. Yeah, I've learned that it is much more beneficial both for me and the business to reach out when I do not understand something or feel burned out with the workload. Okay, any more?
Sometimes lack confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It has been helpful for me to keep a document of the impact I have made team and at my organization to better understand why I should be confident about the skills and unique talents I bring to the team.
Okay, and another one?
It has been difficult for me to know this sort of personalities by learning more about them to accommodation.
So by learning more, so it has been difficult for me to learn with, to deal maybe with certain personalities, By learning more about them, their communication style and motivations, I'm better able to collaborate with these personality types so that we both equally contribute our strengths and skills. And I have trouble saying no, very common one. What is the answer? What is the answer? To help myself improve in this area, I use project management app so I can see how much work I have at any given moment and know if I can take on more or not. This is a very difficult one for some people to say no. Okay. Do you want to take a picture? And there is some very useful language here. You will have access to that, don't worry. There is a very good, well done, And there is a very good exercise at the end where you will have to, we have copies actually, so it will be your homework. We have the printed photocopies of the worksheet. So you will have to think about your weaknesses, your real weaknesses, yeah? So it's actually a great exercise to understand yourself, yeah? So it's your self-awareness, so it's really important. It's really, really important and useful even for yourself, not just to give the answer at the job interview. So, for example, you would think, what one thing that you could change about yourself, if you could? What feedback has a previous manager given you on something that you needed to work on? What are you going to improve? What are you doing to improve your weaknesses? So list your action plan. So this is like the preparation for your answer. What are your weaknesses? And then the language that I would like you to focus on is, have a look at this. I have seen a negative impact on my motivation when I ignore my personal needs. I have seen, yeah? As the result, I have worked on creating space in my schedule to spend more time. But you can actually redraft this language. You can choose something else. So the idea of this exercise was the language, how you can write about that. What are you doing? What have you done to improve? It has been helpful for me to keep a document of the impact I have made on my team and at my organization. So can you see these grammar structures in bold? What grammar is used? Present perfect. So we use present perfect to talk about the result. So the most important is the result of the action of what you've done or what you have been doing. And there's an exercise here for you to think about your weaknesses. Yes? So what's one of your greatest weaknesses? So you will have to think about your weakness. You can have a look at the examples, at the language, how it's written here. You can use some language and you can write about your weakness here in the context. So what context? In your job, in the past, in the present. So you can talk about the past, you can talk about the present. It could be in your life, it could be in your previous job, it could be in studying, it could be in anything. But remember that you have to turn it into the positive. You have to make it sound positive rather than negative, because it shows that you are working on yourself, that you, so it's actually about your self-awareness. You are working on yourself, you are improving, or you have improved, yeah? So, weakness, context, and improvement measures. What have you done or what have you been doing to improve? Yeah, not just vague phrases or cliches like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, that's it, and nothing else. Context, you have to think, you have to self-evaluate yourself. Give the context, where you are a perfectionist, how it's affecting you, your personal life, your work, for example, and what have you done, what are you doing about it, and what is the outcome, what is the result. So you have to show that you are working, you accept criticism, constructive criticism, and you know how to work on yourself, how to improve. You listen to other people's advice as well, not just yourself, and you work on improving yourself as well. So this will be available as a paper copy, and let's have a look at the next one, what I have. I've got some videos and in here as well, and there's one more activity I wanted you to do, is questions and answers here. And I think that it would be great if you worked at the tables. So I have got four sets here. So there are, it's an interview, it's a job interview. It's upper, intermediate, advanced level. And there is some useful language here. questions, some common questions and the answers. So they could be in different order, it's not a problem. We are going to put that in order, okay? So don't worry if it's not in order. First of all, you have to write, you have to find the interviewer, it's written there, interviewer and Andrea. Andrea is a man, not a woman here. I want you to find the answer to each question, okay? So I need you to work at the table. So if you just find, I have got four sets. So I need 4 groups, please. A little bit? Yeah? Okay. One more.
Maybe next one.
Here, okay. Where? Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Поділитися. We have to, let's see how many spaces we have. Yeah, so 4 people here, 4 people there, 4 and 4. Yeah, 4. 4. Ah, okay. So this is just the title. Job interview question is the title. So we have the interviewer and Andrea is their interviewee who is being interviewed. What's that?
Brainstorm.
Huh?
Brainstorm.
Brainstorming?
Yeah.
Тут конкретно нічого немає, там щось має бути сховано. Це ми всі маємо використати. Про культуру тут є щось.
Question, answer, question, answer.
Я просто в коледжі вчуся, ми навчили інколи дивитися просто на слова ключові. Бо якщо прям вникати в кожне слово переклад, то це не вистачить часу. Це тільки вдома можна так робити. Голос тут було в началі.
А это не то же самое?
Да, тоже, кстати, ответ похоже. А ну що тут ще є похоже до утюжнички?
Вот, наверное, вот это. Почему? Вай. Где это вай?
Is it difficult? Done? Woo! Done? Wow. Okay. Do you want to try to put this in order, or is it already in order?
Ah, you mean the flow? Of the
And now
conversation?
try to the sequence. It could be
It can be structure of interview.
it could be different. You know. Yeah, this is the interview. this is the interview. But they could differ, so there is no right or wrong, you know. So which one do you think is the first question? Tell me about yourself.
Current job.
Or maybe how would you describe yourself? Tell me about yourself. I would think. Yeah. So I'm gonna help you with this. So first one is how would you describe yourself? So basically, it's the same one as tell me about yourself. Same one. So it just could be worded differently. Done. Wow. What about the flow? What about the sequence? Do you want to try to put it in order as the job interview?
No.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
No. I'm going
the first one, but then that could be the second one. The goals for the future could be this, but maybe it's more in the end.
No. Yeah.
Like,
About current job.
Shall I give you the first one?
yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is how would you describe yourself?
Fine.
It's like
So just
tell me about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Тоді current job. Tell me about your current job. What have you been doing?
So this could be the second one.
Maybe
Why
this
do you want to work?
No.
For this
Диві.
company?
Tell me about your current job.
Why you describe yourself as an ability member of the team?
There is no right or wrong. It could differ. Are you trying to put this in order now?
No.
Try to put it in order now. So the first one is describe. How would you describe yourself?
Yeah, I remember.
This is number one. How would you describe yourself as number one?
Я думаю, це не одразу за цим. Хоча може have current job.
It can be anything. So there is no right or wrong. Can be anything. Don't worry if you don't get the same.
This task, but we have not so wide vocabulary. It's hard.
The vocabulary is hard.
It's hard.
It is, yeah.
This task not for us.
Yes.
Yeah. If you проверите, как правильно.
If you check.
Check, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The most difficult is language.
The answers are correct, and the order, it's not a problem because it could be anything, you know. So it doesn't really matter how you sequence them. Yeah, it depends. Major problem. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to sequence together, and then you take a photo. Oops. Okay. I think majority of us have already completed the task, and we can check together. Okay, can I have everyone's attention, please? Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, can I have everyone's attention, please? Okay. Do you want to put them in order? I've just put the slides of the interview. Oh God, what's that? Okay. So, does anybody want to read? Yeah, let's read question 1 and the answer. Okay. Right. Ola.
How would you describe yourself? I would describe myself as someone who is ambitious, hardworking, and motivated by challenge. My language and interpersonal skills have allowed me to successfully manage various international projects for the British Council over the past few years.
Okay, let's read the next one. Natalia? Relations. Fascinated. Important. Okay. Next one. Right. Oksana.
Tell me about your current job. What have you been doing? As you can see from my CV, I have been working as a project coordinator for the British Council in Rome for several years. My job was mainly involved organizing special events, such as the social diversity event, which took place last month in Amsterdam. I have also helped prepare a budget forecast for various projects.
Okay, thank you. Next one, Maya. Which one are we reading? Yeah? And the answer, Victoria? Can you read the answer? Here. Just reading. With everyone. Okay. Ladies, anyone would like to read? Yes? Tell me. Handled. Coordinating. Partners and reschedule the project events. Resolved. Okay. Ladies, can I have everyone's attention, please? Okay. And the next one, Solomia's table. Any volunteers to read? How do you handle pressure? Ksenia. Very good answer, I think. Don't you think? Okay. Next one, Solomia. No? We don't have Solomia? I'm sorry. What's your name? Yeah. Natalia, I'm sorry. Okay. Why do you want to work for this company?
Why do you want to work for this company? Well, I'm an ambitious person and I want to be part of
Established.
company. I believe the job is
Tailored.
to my skills and experience, which includes language skills and managing
International projects. So as you can see, you say something general and then you give a specific example about your skills. Yeah. So you've done your homework, your research, a well-established company. Yeah. I want to be a part. Why do you want to work for this company? I want to be a part of a well-established company. So you can use a bit more details about that, and then you say about your skills, which are a perfect match. And the next one, who hasn't read yet? Okay, Ludmila. Rewarding accomplishment.
I would say successfully completing my university degree has been my most rewarding
Accomplishment.
I work intensively.
Intensively. Taking on studies. In Rome. Okay. Another one? Yeah, Stefania.
What personal weakness has caused you the greatest difficulty on the job? I guess at times I'm a little
Reluctant.
to
Delegate.
certain tasks. I think this is because I'm a hardworking by nature. However, my current employer has told me that I've made significant improvements during the last few months of the job, and I believe I will continue to improve in this area.
Lovely. Okay, I think that's a very good example of a weakness and how to answer this question. I am a little reluctant to delegate tasks. Reluctant? I don't really want to give the tasks to somebody else because I can do everything by myself. I'm hard work and I am a superwoman. I can do everything by myself. So I don't delegate tasks. I do everything by myself.
I feel like it's about you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because nobody can do the best as me. Okay. Yes, I'm finishing. Okay?
Yeah, what are your goals for the future? My long-term goals involve growing with a company where I can continue to learn and take an additional responsibilities. Once I gain the necessary experience, I see myself moving on to a management position.
Okay, lovely. Did you find this useful? I hope that you will be able to use this language and analyze what and how these questions were answered using this approach in the context. So you state like a weakness. You state the weakness and you use the example from the context, and then what have you done or what have you been doing to resolve it, and what effect did it have, what impact did it have. So I hope you will be able to work a bit more on that. Some people found it a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging, yeah, because it's advanced, it's upper intermediate and advanced level. So if you did find it difficult, you can simplify the language. You can copy and paste into ChatGPT and simplify if it was too difficult. And this is an opportunity for you to learn the new language as well. Right. On my Padlet, I also have some examples of the most typical questions and how best to answer them. Yeah? question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. So that's all in one document. And then in the same Padlet, I have some interviews with some tasks, and also where is that? Some questions you can ask the interviewer from Indeed. Yeah? What questions can you ask the interviewer, the employer?
Yeah, what about salary? To be honest, I don't understand why is it wrong. You mean exactly this form? How will I earn? Or you mean totally we should not ask this question?
No, you should, but not at an early stage of the interview. I would say that is, let's say you have a feeling that you are going to be offered the job, or you've been offered the job, and then you can negotiate the salary. That's how we do it in our field sector.
Я бачу, у нас хардворки не тільки Зоряна, а й всі решта.
Okay, we have to finish, yeah? All right. Okay, so I'm going to share this document with you on the WhatsApp group, and you can choose whatever interests you. Yeah? You can also have an interview with the ChatGPT, and there are some prompts here how to do that. So you ask a question, ChatGPT, there are questions, prompts. So you copy and paste my prompts, put your details. Is everybody registered with ChatGPT? Yeah? So the most important is the prompts. So I've got the ready-made prompts. I've tried them. So you copy and paste, put your information in, and wait for the answer or for the question. Okay? Yeah. All right, so. Okay, thank you.
Дякуємо, Зоряні. Я швиденько закінчу наш ефір. Добре. Я сподіваюся, вам сподобалася сьогоднішня сесія, попри те, що вона була на півгодини довше, ніж зазвичай. І я сподіваюся, що вас не втомили ці запитання, а навпаки, ви отримали корисний досвід і знання. Ми кажемо до побачення всім, хто з нами був на YouTube-каналі. Па-па і до зустрічі наступного четверга.
Там же за нас слідкують, за нами слідкують.
Ми не одні.
Постійно забуваю.
Ще одне питання. QR-код. І дякую всім, хто пише фідбек.